everyone. Thank you so much for joining me for today's practice Hatha Yoga with Atma Yoga by Divna. I was gone for a couple of weeks and I did post a couple of nice videos on my site to show where I was and if I can recommend the place or not. And that all came out after I talked to a couple of people in my town, and they said, "Hey, how come you're not like posting more things about the things that you know about the I am all about a holistic way of life, and I am making my own kombucha. I am making beautiful recipes made out of the ginger and curcuma, a lot of herbs and a lot of the roots made into the powder, or you can integrate them into the everyday drinking, cooking, making yourself healthier and making yourself living better life. So don't be surprised if you see here and there the video clips that they're not definitely connected with yoga, but I think all of that is connected to yoga. Everything that we do, every breath that we take, and this is just all part of my life. So today I will concentrate on the poses that they actually are shorter, and if I don't have a time, I'm all about the short practices. Integrate them in any part of your everyday life. So in the morning, at night. So we're gonna, as always, start with a child's pose. Long stretch. We want to make sure that our glutes are firmly pressed on our heels and sole of our feet. Long stretch, arms on the front of us. And just for a couple of minutes, we want to just breathe. Come into the unity of body, mind, and breath. Leave everything bad behind us and just make a space for this present moment. With the next inhale, let's lift up into the all fours. Long inhale, the hands right underneath our shoulders, knees underneath our hips. And every time when you pull, you're pulling chest through the shoulders and through the arms. And the process matters. Every inhale, you're stronger, pulling. Every exhale, you elongate the spine, you make it longer, and you make it more airy in between the vertebrae. You can look up. For me, that is the most comfortable position for my neck, or you can look down to the mat. And we're gonna start with the looking up. Inhaling, pulling the center of the spine into the mat, tailbone and the head gazing into the ceiling. Exhale and go into the opposite position, your chin streaming to the top of your sternum bone, tailbone in, stomach close to the spine. Now let's go with 10 breaths like this at your pace. I'll count mine if you want to join me. This is number 2. Number 3, exhaling into the opposite direction. Number 4, looking up. Exhaling, looking down. Number 5. Tailbone in, stomach close to the spine. Let's go for number 6, looking into the ceiling. Exhaling, looking down. Number 7, looking up. Number 7, exhaling, looking down. Number 8, long. Inhale, hold it. Feel the stretch in your spine and the opposite direction, pulling into the sky with the center of your spine. Number 9, inhale. And number 9, exhale. And number 10, I will just go for the inhale. Pull. Stay a little longer. And then they'll find each other in the neutral spine position. And you just look and you think about the space in between the vertebrae. Put your attention on those parts of our spine, so important. And every time when you're trying to pull your chest and your arms pulling, you're making more space, the tailbone, the spine, the shoulder blades. You can make the straight line, or you can look in the front. With the next inhale, raise up the right arm, left leg. Make sure always that the hips are level. With the flexed foot, you're making sure that you're not sacrificing the straight line of the spine. You pull the stomach in, tailbone little in, shoulder blades still back and down. And if you wanna, you can look down or you look up. One more breath. You can point the toes. Pull like someone is pulling you in the two opposite directions. And with the next exhale, let's go and try to grab your foot. Don't hurry up. Don't rush into any pose. You want to make sure that you love the process. So hold on your foot and stay right there. Don't overdo it. Don't come out of the balance. You're just stretching your right shoulder, pulling with your foot, making extra stretch, extra space. And with the next exhale, let's go with the limbs down. And now we're going to do the same thing on the left side. Stretch, pull, flexed foot, or pointed toes, your choice. And you remember, always your choice. Level hips, straight line, pull. You can lift up a little higher, but you can always come down if you get tired. And you always want to make sure length before the height. Length before the height, like someone is pulling you in the two opposite direction. Let's now grab the other foot. You can see how when I'm pulling, I'm literally opening my shoulder and looking in the back. And for now, that is really all what I want. I wanted that extra stretch, extra space in my muscles. Next exhale, let's go laying down. And you want to go into the child's pose. Just for a few minutes. Few breaths. Next inhale, let's go into all fours just for a second. I want to get into the camel pose, but I want to break it for the beginners into a couple of ways of doing it. Of course, if you're more advanced, if you did this pose, please, you can always go making a line in your spine, making extra space. Look up. Curve your spine. And you just meet your feet on the back. You can stay higher, or you can walk your hands a little closer to the sole of your feet. Don't forget, never always to push your hips, push your spine, push your chest into the ceiling. When you're coming up and out of the pose, always safe, always support your low back. And now we're gonna go and break that one and see how we can ease our body into the pose. Always work a couple of present moments to make sure that your body is not aching anywhere. Never feel any strength, any tension in your body. And with the next inhale, let's go up, look up, stretch. And with the exhale, let's just pull your right arm and try to touch your foot, your heel. If that's too far, go on a tippy toes. See how higher and more comfortable that is. You're still stretching the front of your body. You have more control, and you can get a better stretch out of your spine. And if you're coming back and if you're not sure about your back feeling good, you can always support your lower back and come back into the standing position, resting on your knees. Now that was the right arm. Now let's go with the left. Stretch, make extra space. You're working on the lower back of your body, so I always love to tilt. I always love to feel how it feels itself, like all pelvis, muscles, joints. So if everything is okay, I'm gonna stretch. And I'm gonna leave right arm in the air and touch with the left one. Don't forget, if it's too low, you can always bring it up. But if you feel comfortable, you can always grab the heel, sole of your foot, whatever is your choice. And your neck should be comfortable. In here, you can look back. You can look at the ceiling, or you can look in the front, whatever your neck feels comfortable. Coming out of the pose, you want to make sure that the low back is safe. And come up. By this time, you should feel the blood streaming in this area. You're going into opposite direction of everyday life position of this part of the body. So you want to make sure that it feels comfortable. And you want to make sure to let your body know that you will not do anything to hurt the same. I learned to love the process of getting into the yoga pose. So I always take time. The group studio exercises are the most beautiful thing that the human race ever came with. You feel the power, you feel the energy of the other people, you feel those brothers and sisters loving the same thing that you love in your life. But the practices that you do by yourself at your home are just as beautiful, because you can give it more time when it's needed. You can stop. So I always love to combine those two, definitely. Now, you give it enough ease. Let's go up in the air. Before you go and you bend your spine into the position, you really want to pull the stomach close to the spine, tailbone in, shoulder blades back and down. So when I do that from this pose, you're gonna see how I'm pulling tailbone in, shoulder blades back and down. My chest already kind of points it on the back, on the front, and it just kind of streams to the ceiling itself. So what I'm doing right now, I'm just concentrating on breathing, paying attention on all those 3 spots in my body. I also love to kind of sometimes pull my chin onto the sternum bone just to make sure that it's strong, feels comfortable before I start looking up and on the back. And at this pose, I just come down, making sure that my hips are streaming to the front, chest to the ceiling. And you never want to sacrifice this line, going this way. This is not a pose. The pose is pushing your thighs, your legs, your front of your hips to the front wall, chest into the sky. And you can go to the sole of your feet if you feel comfortable. But once when I touch them, I still want to push and stretch. Coming out of the pose, I want to make sure that my low back is safe. And of course, out of this pose, I will go into the counter pose, being child's pose. My favorite pose where I can enjoy a couple of present moments to make sure that everything is okay. I'm going to finish up today's practice with coming out of the child's pose, with the arms going back and touching the sole of your feet. If you cannot grab the sole of the feet, any part of the legs, it's fine. You want to legs close to each other. I like to push my shoulders to the ground, make the space between the shoulder blades bigger, pull the spine into the ceiling. Try to touch top of your head and the floor. Makes your spine strong, airy, spacious.
And from this pose, I like to go vertebra by vertebra coming up. Take your time. I have my shoulders and shoulder blades relaxed. My spine is coming up with my shoulders and head just hanging down all until I feel that my shoulder blades are pulling back, trying to bring up my head into the up position. So now I am in this pose, and right now you can go in Shavasana. I've been practicing before this, so I just wanted to make the short one for all of us. So I just want to say thank you for everyone joining me on this practice. The light in me sees and loves light in you. Namaste.